everything in between, folks. You're about to be live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my main man coming from the other side of town. We call him Dusty Vision. What's up with you, Dusty One?
What up, my man? How you feeling today?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain about nothing. Got some new
Good,
toys
man.
on your ass today, though.
What's that?
Got some new toys for you today.
Oh, okay. I like new toys, man. You upgrading the studio over there?
Yeah. Actually, I'm just breaking out some toys I had. I just figured some things out to make this thing work a little bit better. So today is gonna be my first time utilizing this new situation I put together.
Nice.
Had it for a while. It's the first time really using it.
Okay. How was your 4th of July?
Man, it was fantastic. Didn't do nothing, but that's the whole part of that's a good day for me.
I loved it, man. I think
on the chopping block.
Say it again.
Who we got first today on the subject matter?
Man, a lot to talk about as always. Let's get this out of the way, Lonzo. I know we talk about it a lot on this show, but I feel like if we don't talk about it, no one's going to talk about it. It used to make me sad, but now it's just starting to anger me. 106 people shot in Chicago over this past 4th of July weekend. 106 people shot. And my thing is, why is no one talking about this? I mean, white people aren't talking about it. Black people aren't talking about it. I think we've discussed, why white people aren't talking about it. But let me ask you, why do you think we are not talking about this in our community?
Man, because unfortunately for us, we've kind of become immune to it, man. It's like we got a shot in the ass for violence. We become immune to violence, and this is something that we've been conditioned to accept, unfortunately. And as long as it's us doing it to us, nobody gives a shit. Okay? And that's the problem. If we don't care, why should anybody else care? And that's the problem when people talk about come up with all the different justifications and the different explanations. Bottom line is, man, that's our problem that we got to fix. And if you keep on trying to kick the can down the road or blame it on something else, yes, it's all that. Okay, we know this white supremacy, we know it's the drugs, we know it's gangs, and knowing all that right there, how we gonna fix it? Okay, we have to come up with a solution. If like we talked about this before on the show, if the government coming in, they're coming with boots and guns, kicking ass and shooting, blowing our heads. If they're coming in, if the government comes in, they're coming in with boots and guns, and we're gonna get another crime bill that everybody was complaining about in 2020 when Biden ran. But at that time, and I know people, I've caught some flack about this. At that time, that was one of the best things going. Unfortunately, but because we don't regulate ourselves, we don't check ourselves in our own communities. Somebody else come in, they're gonna do it their way. And that's the bottom line, dude.
Yeah. And I just want to drop this fact on people. This is a fact. You can look it up. You can go anywhere and look this up. The number one cause of death for black men up to age 44 is homicide. Homicide, dude. For white people, it's car accidents. Something needs to be done.
Well, you know what? Being that I'm an advocate for it, I know that gun violence and prostate cancer is right neck and neck. Okay? And both of them can be avoided. I mean, you can't avoid prostate cancer, but you don't have to die from it. Okay? Yeah. It used to be a time where heart disease and cancer was like up there in high ranking, and it came to the top 10 reasons for black men dying. Gun violence, in some cases, in some states, gun violence has been passed by prostate cancer. Some situations. But for the most part, we're dealing with a situation, man, that can be corrected with our own within our own control. Put it that way. We can. If brothers stop running from these two fingers, they can help reduce the deaths in prostate cancer. And if brothers learn to talk as opposed to shoot, or learn to fight instead of shoot, man, just get your ass whooped, take that L, go about your business. A friend of mine showed me a video the other day, yesterday, showed me a video of kids. I think it was in Lancaster or Palmdale. Dude on a skateboard, one dude on a bike, and do a drive-by and kill another dude on a skateboard and a bike. Rumor has it they had a fight earlier that week, sometime during the week, and the homeboy couldn't take the ass whooping. Went home and got a gun, went somewhere and got a gun, and he saw the guy that jumped on him and whooped his ass, and he killed him. Okay? You killed him. Everybody under 21. So you got one life is gone, one life is gone permanently, and the other one is gonna sit in jail for the rest of his life. He got one murder, one possible murder. I don't know if the guy died. He looked pretty dead to me. Okay, from the video I saw, he looked pretty dead. And the other guy was attempted murder. He hauled ass. He outran the bullets. But this is what, when you have situations like this right here, and you can't, like I said before, you can't blame Biden, you can't blame Kamala Harris, you can't blame Trump. This shit's been going on. This shit supersedes all the presidents in the United States for the most part. We have a problem within our own community that only we can resolve. We have to learn to deal with issues in a different manner or walk the hell away. That's it, Doc.
Yeah. And it seems like people are afraid to take that ass whooping because we know that it'll end up on Instagram and you'll probably get embarrassed, but you know what? You're going to be alive. Who cares if you go viral for getting your ass whooped? You're still going to be alive. But these people, they're afraid to get their ass whooped on camera, so they're just going to pull out that blammer and start shooting.
I tell you about the story about my dad, right?
Tell it again.
When I had a fight on the street, my old man made
and the guy ran to the doorstep and your dad made you
right up on the porch with me. The door open. He tried to come in the house with me. I said, "Oh no, y'all ain't breaking somebody in the face. You got to go outside. You got to handle this, okay?" And dude, I know I'm gonna piss some single moms off, but a lot of that is from single moms, okay?
Facts.
Don't
take offense, women.
I understand that's your baby. That's your baby. That's your baby. You don't want them getting no bruises, no scars, no scratches, okay? But in the real world, you can't protect them from bruises, scars, and fights. Okay, either he's gonna learn to fight or he's gonna learn to be a punk. Okay, or he's gonna shoot somebody because he can't take an ass whooping. L's are part of growing up, whether you're playing baseball, and it goes right back to even that. Okay, I mean you got little league don't keep scoring no more.
Exactly. Everybody gets a participation trophy. Yeah, everybody gets a trophy.
But because it's more about the money made on the trophies, the jerseys, and the league than it is about the kids learning sportsmanship. Okay, everybody gets just when you sign up, it's $400-$500 to sign up. You get to keep your jersey, get a trophy, you get a big party at the end of the year, and everybody make a little bit of money. But for the most part, you ain't keeping score. I mean, there's no incentive to get better. All you get to do is you can be mediocre and still be okay. That's not how this game goes, man.
Nope. You can't even run the score now. I was at the tail end of football. I remember one of our last games, we were smoking them like 52-9 or something like that. And they stopped the game because they didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And I remember as like a 17-year-old, I'm like, wait, what? They didn't come prepared. Man.
Okay. That will teach you to get your ass in and do some more push-ups, more jumping jacks, and be a better player.
Yep. Facts. Well, yeah, man. We're just gonna keep at least touching on it until something's. I feel like that's what we could do. Me and you could do it, and hopefully it just gets more people out there to take this thing serious because there's just too much of us dying. But I want to move on. We're losing a lot of lives, but we have people bringing a lot of lives into this world also. Kind of bad joke there, but Nick Cannon is having his 4th baby in 6 months. Nick Cannon slinging that D, man.
Nick got the money. The kid's gonna be all right. Okay. I know a lot of guys that's broke as hell, got a bunch of babies, And you say something about babies, oh my God, that's what he want to do. That's what she want to do. And you can't spend enough time with everybody. Nick probably can do that. He probably got a big old bus. Everybody get together. He gonna rent Disneyland out, or whatever the case may be. That's all fine and dandy. And he probably got enough sense and got enough lawyers to keep the baby mamas from draining him dry. Okay, he probably get a good deal with them, and that's basically what it comes down to: a good deal. Okay, I'm gonna give you this right here per month for the kid. Blah blah blah. I want to see him this many times a month, whatever the case may be. And unlike a poor brother who got to go in and give up 17% of his income, gross income, for child support, that makes a big difference. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Them kids ain't getting. I'm willing to bet them kids ain't getting 17% of Nick's fortune. Okay, per month. I'm willing to bet they're not getting 17% of Wildin' Out. They ain't getting 17% of his radio show, whatever else he got going on. I wouldn't bet you. There might be a good chunk set aside for the kids, okay? But I'm willing to bet you each one of them not getting 17%.
That's facts. But they made a deal, like you said, like adults, the male and the female made a deal, and here we are. As opposed to you dummies out there who keep popping out babies, and you're making $42,000 a year. When they take that $1,500 a month, that's gonna really hurt if you're only making $40,000 a year.
It's like having your dick in the door. Bam!
You know, I could say a lot of things about my baby mama, but one thing is we had an agreement, we stuck to it, and my son's 22 years old now, and I've never had to see a child support payment in my life, thank God. But that's because I took care of my business.
I had a situation where I almost got drugged into the system, but when the system realized I was already taking care of my business, they like, you know what? We're gonna give you less than what he's giving you, so you might as well go talk to him. Okay?
Ooh.
We're gonna give you less than what he already giving you some money. You ain't getting no more. In fact, you're gonna get less, and you might want to rethink this. That was the only time I ever had a real attempt. But other than that, man, you know, if you go take care of your business, you stay reasonable with a person. I mean, nobody. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Most women just want to be fair, okay? If you ain't no dog, and a lot of times your attitude determines your altitude, how far you gonna fly that individual, okay?
Facts.
So if you get too, want to be too pimped out or too hardcore, she got a big brother she can go to at any given moment and make everything right.
Yep.
They have that advantage, and all that. I gave money and I ain't seen my kid. Child support. Visitation, I don't give a damn about that. They give a damn about the dollars, okay? But if you spend time with your child, you ain't got to pay no bunch of money. And that's most cats understand that. Child support is based on how much money you make, how much time you spend with the child. If you spending taking them to school or picking them up from school and spending weekends with them, whatever the case may be, your child support can get zeroed out. But you got to understand how the game goes. You got to figure out how to play the game that's going to work best for you.
Yeah.
You work swing shift. You work from 3 to 5, 3 to 12, and on weekends you might not have the same options.
Yep. And you always like to spit game, and I want to drop something on people out there. Don't run. Don't be afraid, because right now courts. They love fathers who want to be in their kids' lives. So don't think that, oh my God, I'm going to run. No, go to court, handle your business. In the end of the day, it's going to be the best thing. If you run, you're going to get screwed.
One of my boys, one of my guests on my other show, he has an organization called My Child Says Daddy. He said something to me that made so much sense. He says, all you got to do is show them what you want to do. And in some cases, that they'll take your driver's license. They take your license. They don't want your license. They know you can't do nothing with them. They want your attention. Come here and talk to me. Okay? Come talk to me. And in most cases, if you give them some kind of money, look, man, I got a job, but I'm a security guard. Or I got a job, but I'm a bus driver. A license, you defeating the purpose. They're not stupid. And in most cases, they're not unreasonable. It's just when you start want to come down, the social workers don't care about your social problems. They're only there to design to get the money, figure how much money you're gonna get, visitation, if at any, and whatever else situation y'all worked out. Most of the time, when my kids' moms, I tell them, look, I will give you this amount of money per month. We're gonna go half on Christmas presents, and I need to see my kid, these days of the week. I never had a problem seeing my kids. Nothing. I never had. Come on, I'm gonna pick them up and take them back. Okay, I'm gonna get a girl the money on the day I'm gonna give it to her, and all that old slick shit. Or I ain't got it today. Negro, find it. Pay that. You might want to pay that sometime before you pay your rent.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Women are very reasonable. Women are very reasonable, like you said. So, just be careful with who you stick your penis in. That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful who you stick your penis in. Let's just wrap it up with that, because that could lead to 18 years of shit, a whole lifetime of some shit. But let's talk about one of the first father figures that I personally, I didn't have a dad growing up. One of the first father figures that I saw on TV. And before we even get into the fact that he's free, I'm obviously talking about Bill Cosby. Welcome home, Bill Cosby. Talk to me about how important it was back in the early 80s to see a black man being a doctor, a wife being, I think she was a lawyer, all the whole family under one roof. Like, talk to me about how important the Cosbys was, and then share your feelings about, Bill Cosby being released.
Well, let me take you back for a minute, Doc. Before the Cosbys, anytime there was a black man on television, everybody ran to the TV to see who it was. The Ed Sullivan Show was one of the few shows that had a lot of black people on there. He had the Jackson 5, Temptations, Supremes. Anybody, anytime, especially back in the 60s, and I was a kid growing up, this is before color TV, man. I grew up before color TV. TV wasn't always color in my time, okay? So when a black kid, when a black person came on television, it was a neighborhood conversation. Oh, the Temptations gonna be on Ed Sullivan. Jackson 5 gonna be on Ed Sullivan, and everybody was at the TV. I think one of the first people I saw on television as a black, a young kid was Diane Carroll. She had the show called Julia. She was a nurse.
Okay.
She was a nurse, and then I think Bill Cosby came up right around the same time. And for Bill to be cool and to be a spy. Oh,
I Spy.
I Spy. Come on, man. Then later on he became Chet Kincaid on Rule 222, and he was hitting on Denise Nichols. Come on, he was always that dude. Then later on, I think he started making them crazy ass movies, and then he struck it big when he hit the Cosby Show. And this is a known fact. During the era of the Cosby Show, HBCU colleges, HBCUs saw a spike in
attendance. Oh, wow!
For the kids,
because of the sweaters and things he would wear.
Because they was pushing it so hard. You got a mama and a daddy. One's a lawyer, one's a doctor. All the kids going to school. They still doing dumb shit. They upper middle class, but they still doing dumb stuff. Okay? Right. And it was funny dumb stuff, but it was real dumb stuff. And then they had spinoffs, they had Different World, and they had Lisa Bonet had her show. And it just made for a whole era, man, that, then you got shows like Living Single. All that right there, dude, was a part of in the Arsenio Hall show. Man, that incomes for television.
Yes.
For black folks, that was just a hell of a time, man. You had Martin, you had HBO, you had the comedy, Def Jam comedy. All that was around the same time, dude. So you saw so much good and funny blackness. Yeah, even though Martin, sometimes he can be called a buffoon, but he had a job. He wasn't on welfare. He had a job. He was doing some corny shit sometime, but he had a job. Okay. Same thing with Arsenio. He was on the black tip. I mean, this is when hip hop still had two sides to it. You still had various sides of hip hop. You still had you had your Public Enemy, your Eazy-E's, your Ice-T's. Everybody still was doing their thing. He brought everybody in from the same gang on the show. sit down, talk with Easy E about Dre and him and Dre's situation, and all that, man, all that was that era, man, was just a hell of a situation, dude. It was just dope.
Arsenio Hall is the reason why I'm sitting here right now. When I saw him on TV and I saw that we're kind of the same color tone, and this is the first, I don't remember another black talk show host before him, I was like, that's what I want to do. He's talking hip hop. He's talking to these professional wrestlers and doing all this cool stuff. I was like, that's what I want to do. Was Arsenio big before he got on? Because I don't know anything about his previous life before.
Arsenio was a stand-up comedian. I used to see him at the Comedy Store up in Hollywood, man.
Okay.
Back when I had Eve After Dark, and even after that, I worked Fridays and Saturdays. I'd always go to the Comedy Store in Hollywood and hang out, me and Unknown and our girls. And we see everybody there. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Richard Pryor, Jay Leno, David Letterman. Everybody would be there. And Arsenio Hall was probably the least funny dude at the whole place, man. He was probably the least funny dude, least funniest comedian that did stand up there. I saw him at the Comedy Act Theater down there with my boy Michael Williams. He was never funny to me, but he had he was much better as a talk show host. Some guys try to do everything, but some guys are just better at doing certain things. Arsenio, he's all right actor, but he's much better as a talk show host. He's much more engaging as a talk show host. Jamie Foxx, same way. Jamie Foxx is a great actor, great singer. He ain't funny with the shit on stand-up.
Yeah, I can't fuck with him.
He ain't funny with shit on stand-up. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Damn, one of the best actors, though. Jamie Foxx really knows how to morph into some characters where you're like, how the hell did you just morph into Ray Charles? You're like, whoa. Yeah, great actor. Now, let's move on. There's a few questions from last time that we didn't get to because we always, the conversation always gets popping. And there were a couple things that I wanted to ask you. You just mentioned Unknown before we get to what I had. Now, Unknown DJ, and I just heard this last week, had a label called Death Row before Death Row. It was Death Row. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Talk to me about what you know about that and how that may have affected Death Row, and did he get paid or anything?
Well, with Unknown spun off and had his own label, Techno Hop Records, first and foremost. You got to understand Unknown. Unknown has always been he's a very creative dude, okay? He's very sharp with it. And we would sit around and drink. Our drink is Kahlua and Hennessy. We sit around and drink Kahlua and Hennessy. We brainstorm sometime. And he's always been like what you call that? Like a bee, bumblebee. He pollinates all the different camps. I know there's one of them cats that he don't mess with everybody, but he mess with everybody. Okay? And he and Dre always stayed tight. Even after me and Dre them fell out, he stayed tight with Yella, Dre, all of them. And he had the concept for Death Row, like Def Jam. And everybody loved it. And they were going to name the company Death Row. DEF Row. And I think Suge like, nah, we want to go Death Row. So to keep him from doing that, they gave him a big old fat check. They bought the name Death Row and then changed it to Death Row. I see the artwork. Okay? I seen the artwork, Death Row. And, at some point in time, you know what? We're going to make it Death Row. Don't worry about it. Gave him a check anyway.
Wow. Yeah, never knew that.
That's one of those little twisted hip hop secrets that I just found out about 4 or 5 years ago myself.
Huh. Now you probably know more about this, but did Death Row even have to break him off? Like, is it far enough from a comparison to where, or is it?
They agreed to do the Death Row. They liked the idea of Death Row.
Oh, gotcha. They wanted to do this. Gotcha.
Then they changed it. Okay. They just said, forget it. We're going to go Death Row. We're not going to go Death Row. We're going Death Row.
Damn.
Okay.
Make it a little more gangster.
They bought the copyright and bought the artwork, everything.
Oh, wow.
I've seen the mock-ups. Okay.
Wow. Huh.
And then later on, there was a problem with Suge, and he left Death Row and Death Row.
Okay, so he was affiliated, not just name-wise, but he
with some groups over there. and
Oh, okay.
the deal didn't go right, and he left
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Smart
quickly.
guy, sounds like.
Quickly.
Yeah, he sounds. Yeah. I met him one time, and I told him my joke was I've never seen a picture of you. I don't even know what you look like. He's like, that's why I'm unknown.
You know
I met
what?
him one time at your place.
We argue about that all the time. We argue about that all the time. I'm like, dude, you are the second highest ranking West Coast pioneer in period. Okay.
Mm.
And there was three cats. Me, Unknown, and Roger Clayton. I started first. They was right on my heels. Okay. It was right on my heels. And when when Roger Unknown used to take pictures, he used to, and then he got into this Unknown DJ thing. I got pictures of him. But as he got to this more to this Unknown DJ thing, he just took it and ran with it. I mean, the dude, we've been friends for over 40 years. He did my documentary. He did the motherfucker like he's in witness protection program. We had to turn off all the lights. I'm not bullshit. To turn off all the lights, put his ass in the shadows, and that's how he did my documentary. Okay, like the FBI or this mafia looking for his ass.
Damn. They're saying your levels are in and out. Just make sure. I don't know if you have a mic there or something, but it's in and out on my end too. So just so you know, just be aware of where you are.
Okay.
You got it, guys. I mean, let me comment real quick. We're slow on my end.
I'm gonna put up a little bit. Let me check my volume over here.
All right, there we go. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me try something.
Appreciate you all in the comments, keeping the chats alive, and thank you for pointing that out, because I thought it was me too, but I'm literally half deaf in one ear, so I can't tell most of the time. Good looking out, guys. Good looking out. Shout out to Celebrate Life Cerebral. Shout out to Bond says, what's up, brother? Shout out to D Blue. Shout out to the real Aaron Collins. He says these millennials are out of control and very unstable. You ain't lying, Playboy. Shout out to Gary Cummins. What's up, Lonzo and Dusty? Checking in from Philly. Shout out to Philly. You guys are seeing a lot of craziness too this year. Let's move on, man. We talk about Unknown. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about somebody that I don't think you and I really talked about too much. We brought his name up every once in a while. I've met him a couple times myself via you. Talk to me about Arabian Prince and how you guys met and any stories you may have and his importance to hip hop.
You know, Arabian Prince is my boy. I talk to him today, man. We talk almost every day. And Arabian Prince, like most West Coast promoters, was a independent dance promoter. He started doing dances at this little spot over in a city called Lenox, California, not far from Inglewood.
The airport? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right by the airport. And he was deep into Prince. I mean, his Prince knockoff make Yella look like Jimmy Jam. I mean, he had the curly hair, he had the collar, and he got naturally curly hair, so his hair's all in his face. And but he's always been a cool nerd, and that's probably the best way to describe the Arabian Prince. He's a real cool nerd. Okay, drives a cold ass, I think it's BMW, gold wings and shit. Sports car from James Bond looking shit. But he's a video game dude. He plays video games most of the time. He's into coding. He's into tech. Period. When I have a tech problem, I call Arabian Prince. Now him and Unknown both are very tech-minded dudes. When it comes to a serious problem, past uploading or loading something on the computer, they go into your computer and start going to places I would dare not go. And that the music thing also makes them, gave them another avenue to exercise some of their creativity. And Arabian Prince, he's one of them dudes. I mean, he's always been a musically minded cat from Compton. he and I, we connected. We both went to the same elementary school. We're both Catholic school kids. Oddly enough, most people don't know his dad used to own Players Magazine. Players Magazine?
I was too young, but I know about it. Tell us about that.
Players Magazine was the
like a black penthouse kind of, right?
For the hood.
Yeah.
That was the hood magazine. Okay. The girl they didn't airbrush in Players. Okay. If you had stretch marks, you got stretch marks. You got bullet wounds, you got bullet wounds. You got stab wounds, you got stab wounds. We having a bad hair day? Okay. Oh well, click, baby. Okay. It wasn't like Hustler, and it wasn't like none of the other white magazines. But I guess if you were a brother that liked natural women, it was a great magazine for you. And you saw a lot of girls that you knew from the hood. Okay. You saw a lot of women that you knew from the hood in Players Magazine. His dad was the editor-in-chief of Players Magazine, so he's always had somewhat of a foot in the entertainment business. And that's just my dude, man. Like I said, we on the verge right now dealing with some stuff. We just did an interview, documentary. They're doing a documentary on Snoop Dogg out of Germany.
Oh, nice.
They just interviewed us for the documentary. We was gonna ride together, but we both had things scheduled after the show and after the interviews. So we just decided to roll together. We roll separately. So, he's an avid golfer, and this dude played golf almost every day. We were laughing this morning about how everybody is senior citizens, technically, but we don't feel like it,
Yeah.
And we don't feel like it, Arabia's like 56 years old, and he's playing golf every day, play basketball. I mean, the cars that he drives, the lifestyle that he lives he ain't living in no senior citizen, no assisted living home, okay? Mm-hmm. And we was laughing about the same thing this morning, how I think maybe our hip hop lifestyle, man. We push buttons, we party for a living. We got different energy levels, man. And we've been doing this shit all our lives. So, thank God for hip hop.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I want to feel like you when I'm 65. I see some 65-year-olds and they look like they need to be in a home or something, like you said. And whatever you're doing, dog, teach me the secret because I want to be like you when I'm 65 because sometimes you got more energy than I got. I'm 43 years old. I'm over here tired as shit. And you're like, let's go, baby. I'm like, but you bring out that energy, man. So, yeah, keep young, man, because you're going to live to be 100 doing that shit.
I'm 64. Don't give me that.
Oh, my bad. I keep saying that. I'm sorry, man.
Man.
My bad.
Don't give me no wired gap, okay? But you know what, dude? I wear it proudly, man, because when I look back and I see the newspaper every day, a feed on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, 21, 19, gone, 35, gone, and dude, man, come on, man, come on.
Heart attacks at 30 because they're doing too many drugs. You're like, you're having a heart attack at 30?
But on the other hand, and I say this all the time, on the other hand, when I look at, like today, the dude that made, think of Lethal Weapon, 91. 91. Okay? 91. I mean, when actors of another race, when they check out, hip hop is the only one that eat their young, kill their young, okay? And some of these Instagram situations or these overzealous wannabe YouTube creators, but for the most part, man, it's just amazing that we've accepted shooting and killing and death as being a part of a culture. That ain't our culture, man. That's not a culture, dude. And that's something that we brought into the game, that's brought into the game by us, not we as us, but we brought this into the game, and somehow or another, we convinced ourselves it's okay. Okay, it's okay.
Man. But when the cops kill us, it's all hell breaks loose.
Do you realize that T-shirts and now masks have become for memorial masks and memorial T-shirts There's a cottage industry in the hood.
Mm.
It's a cottage industry, man. I mean, people do this. That's part of when they hustle. What they do is do memorial T-shirts. They make a quick 100, quick 200.
Right.
You don't sell them.
Right. Yep.
You don't sell them. My son-in-law makes memorial masks with matching T-shirts. Okay.
Golly.
Memorial mask and matching T-shirts. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Man. Just like you said, there's so much money in black on black, Latino on black, Latino on Latino crime. They're making shirts now. Not only are lawyers getting paid and judges and people buying prisons and things like that, it goes all the way down to the dude selling shirts on the corner.
You know, if you really understand, and this is why I think it's important that they teach civics in school, although they don't. Civics does not allow people to really understand how government works, how the system works. That was one of the class that I had in Vanguard or even Centennial. And once you understand how things around you work, you have a different perspective on what's important. Okay, you have much different perspective on what's really important. And I think that's where people make the mistake at. Well, that's where they don't want you to know certain things. That's where this critical race theory thing coming in that. Now, y'all might not hear, you won't hear about this on Power 106. You won't hear, it's critical race theory. Where they try to put what they call a non-disclosure agreement on history. Basically, that's what it comes down to. A non-disclosure agreement on history. So what they're saying is, we did a lot of fucked up.
Dance around this really real quick. Dance around this topic a little bit carefully, because unfortunately I have heard that this is something that YouTube is striking people for, like coronavirus. Critical race theory is a topic that. So yeah, but go ahead, keep going and talk to me. But yeah, just dance around a little bit.
It's like somebody. It's the same problem I have with corporations that do things to people. You know, they know they have a product that's deadly. They know it's killing people or making people sick, but you can't tell nobody. Okay, we're gonna give you this check. You can't tell nobody we paid you. You can't tell nobody how you got money from us, because they may come and do the same thing. Okay. In this other situation, it's more like people feel that if we keep telling everybody how bad America did people, the people are going to get empathetic to the indigenous people, black people, and Mexicans. And as generations go along, they may feel they need to be more sympathetic and empathetic toward them, and that's not going to serve our purpose.
Yeah, I got to look more into that critical race there. I've been hearing a lot about it lately. Huh. Yeah, man. Well, shit. Before we even move on, just real quick back to Arabian Prince and how he used to dress and the Prince and all that. Real quick, I want to end it with this. You old school players, you can't talk about how these kids are dressing nowadays, because Grandmaster Flash and World Class Wrecking Crew, you guys were dressing. You guys were on some shit. But women liked it, right? Like women, you walked into a party and women were on it.
They always rubbing on my suit, man. I got my suit right here, dude. My suit.
Damn.
They rubbed on this suit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it's so nice. Okay.
Wow.
You couldn't dude. Not one member of the record crew kept their jacket any length of time, so they all got stolen. You do not put your jacket down; they would get stolen. Now, understand this: the purple jackets were the first ones we had. We had 3 different sets of jackets, though, and nobody has any of them. We had 3 different sets of jackets.
Okay.
We had the purple ones, that was first. Then we had some blue ones made, some black and blue ones made. Then we had burgundy and silver ones made. And the burgundy and silver ones were reversible, because we kept getting sweated by other promoters. We walk into their sets and we just sheen on it. We just coming in this, we 20 deep, all jacketed down, made people feel bad. Okay. This man, I appreciate if y'all thought when your jackets in the set. Okay, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
We got him on the reversible side and get in the set, turn him around. Oh, it's like going to a motorcycle club with your colors on.
Dang. Did someone specific make your wardrobe?
Huh?
Did someone specific make your wardrobes?
it was a lady, the company who made our jackets. She was in the Valley, and she had an exclusive contract with all the record companies, and you could not buy their jacket. That's what made me do it the way they did, because you couldn't buy a record company jacket. If you didn't work for Warner Brothers or Motown or Arista or RCA or whoever, you could not own a jacket. And when you went to the conventions, like Jack the Rapper or the BRE convention, back then, the dopest thing you can see is all these jackets. You got to see, y'all don't understand that. Because y'all don't understand it. Everybody wear t-shirts. But when you go into a room and you see pockets of satin jackets, it made you want to have one. And that's what I did. I need some of this for me. Okay. Yeah, I got a company. I want my own goddamn jackets. And we're the only ones that ever did that. Record Crew was the only one that ever did that. Because I'm a record dude, first and foremost. I wasn't just a hip hop dude. I was into the record industry. I hung out with record guys, so I understood how they thought, what they did, how they did certain things. They were my friends. I still go to the record picnics every year. Everybody at the picnic, I'm probably the youngest cat in the picnic.
Damn.
Okay. But they, the record industry dudes, man, record and radio, they just evolve. They don't stop doing what they're doing. They just, the connections are still there for the most part. You ain't got to do a lot of heavy lifting with 12 inches in the albums no more. But the connections are still there. A lot of these guys are podcasters, or they're working on either Sirius or one of the streaming services. So a lot of guys are still in position to do things.
Yeah, it evolves, and here we are with the evolution. Let's talk about another N.W.A. member. World-class record member who ended up being an N.W.A. member, just released a book talking about DJ Yella. Apparently the book is really good. I have it coming myself. Should be here. It's probably outside right now as we speak. But one thing that I wanted to talk about that seemed to get a lot of press this week was DJ Yella reveals that he was homeless for 3 years following the success of N.W.A. First of all, did you know about that? And secondly, how is it that, someone who sold millions of records, one of the most successful groups, not just in hip hop, but in music period, how does someone become, broke at the end of the day?
Well, you gotta know Yella. That's my dude, okay? I love them all, but Yella like cars. Yella said I think in maybe a 3 or 4 year period, he bought like 55 new cars.
The fuck?
55.
There it is.
Okay. Yella was buying boats. Yella was buying jet skis. Yella had a $80,000 go-kart. I call it a go-kart.
Everything that depreciates. Nothing that appreciates. Everything that depreciates.
It was actually a sand rail. He had an $80,000 sand rail with a vet engine in it. Okay.
Damn.
And he liked toys. He liked toys. Okay. And I'm gonna put his business in the street. It's in the book. I think he might have also had a bad marriage and some tax issues. And don't take long after that.
Yeah. You know what? Explain in general how new artists, especially groups, are paid and why the first contracts are pretty much guaranteed to screw you.
Oh, because first of all, the first contract, any record deal, is going to the artist. It's like anything else. Your first going to the house. Your first success is going to the house. Because you might be a one album artist. There are a lot of artists out there who don't have 2 or 3 albums in them, so they get all their money out your ass up front. Okay, give you some money. And back in the day, when you first dropped your stuff, the one thing the companies had to do was build you up as an artist, which gave you a certain amount of fame. So even if you don't have another album, you can still ride that one song forever. Okay, and this is where people understand where the fame comes in at. Okay, when you have the success of of a Tone Loc. Tone Loc can still gig today, no problem. Okay, you can still Coolio. Still gigs today. Gangsta's Paradise, big song. Okay, Sugar Hill Gang still gig today. Wrecking Crew still get calls. I haven't got no calls lately, but I still can go gig. So once you've been elevated to a certain level, it's just everything else becomes that's money at that time that the record companies could not get. It was your gig money. Your show money was your show money, and they knew that. So they figured they keeping the record, most of the record money. You keep the show money. That was the mental attitude. You keep the record. I'm gonna keep the record money. I'm gonna give you some, but I'm gonna charge you for everything associated with this record. And that's the crazy part, because when you understand the game, they loan you some money to make a project for their company, and their company owns the project, but they making you pay for everything that goes into that project to make that project successful. All the promotion and marketing comes out of your pocket. But why am I paying to market something that if I invented ketchup and you own the ketchup, why am I paying for the commercials? Okay, if you think about that, if you invented something and sell it to the company owns it, it's up to them to market and promote it. Record company ain't like that. No. Because you get 10% of the profits, I'm making you paying 100% of the expenses.
Crazy, man.
You walk into a deal owning everything. You walk out owning 10% and 100% of all expenses related to this project.
Damn. Let me ask you. How does somebody like a Master P come along and throw a wrench in that whole system and say, instead of giving me 10% and you get 90, I want the 90 and you get the 10%?
Master P came into the game. The game was changing around. Came in with a strong situation. Came from the South. Okay, came from down south. Had some hit records, and when they saw him coming, it was guaranteed money anyway. Okay, so I can distribute your product. You got enough product coming through, because at one point in time, Master P had the back cover of all the magazines plastered with his stuff. You walk into Best Buy, they got a whole shelf of that stuff, and people was buying it. He had the look. His stuff, his material, his music had the look, and sometimes had the sound. And that's the only thing that hurt him in the long run, was at some point in time, I think some of the sound fell off. But again, you got, I don't know, he might have had 40 artists at one time, man. You look at the back of the Source magazine, he got the whole page. Vibe magazine got the whole page, huh?
Yeah, you remember Billboard? You would go into a record store and they had the top 100 Billboard. I remember going down county. He had 18 in the top 100. 18 people were of No Limit Records were on the top 100 Billboard.
He's the only one that ever done it like that. Ruthless didn't do it like that. Okay, Bad Boy didn't do it like that. He's the only one that did it like that and won. Okay, it worked for him. Somebody bought something.
Yeah.
And, he claimed, they say he has some money. He has some money from outside sources to promote his own product. So that's where all the expense comes in there, promoting the product. So if you got a pile of money to promote your own product, all they got to do is get it to the people. Then their job is minimized. So you handle all your marketing and promotion. You don't need them. All you need them to do is put the record in the hands of the stores. People will buy it. So that was his power when he walked in. We walked into Priority. I think it was Priority.
Yeah.
Priority.
Wherever it was Priority. It was Priority.
Universal. He went in with his nuts out. I got this. What you want me to do? I don't need you. You need.
I don't need your 500,000. I don't need your 500,000.
Why you think I'm gonna give you $500,000 for you to give me 10 cents on the dollar? That don't make no sense. I got millions.
Yeah, man. Study Master P, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to become an entrepreneur, read his story, learn what he did, because that can be done again. Things like that can be done again. Content creators have all the power right now, in my opinion. when we do things like this, we have the power. When rappers, build their own fan base on their YouTube and they're coming to the record label and they already have 400,000 followers, they have the power. So just know you have the power. Do not sell your soul.
Hey man, see, that ain't what they gonna do, man. Cause understand this, man. Used to be a time when you had an independent situation, you was considered a sellout. Okay? I'm sorry, if you had a major deal, you considered a sellout.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
If you was all the big guys in the beginning, Hammer was a
MC
sellout.
Hammer, yep.
Will Smith was a sellout, let him sell it. Rob Bass was a sellout, let him sell it. Because the vibes of the streets were power to the people. Okay? Public Enemy was the shit. KRS-One was the shit. Poor Righteous Teachers was the shit. But when they found a way to flip that around and materialism became more important, the people with the money became with the power. People lost their power. Right now, the people don't have the power. People have the power. People have the power. They don't use it. People have the power. They just don't use it.
Slaves?
If you want to stop certain types of music from being played, stop streaming that shit.
Slaves. Sounds like like modern day slaves. Yeah. Sounds like modern day slavery to me.
Anything you want to stop people from doing, just stop supporting it, because only thing they care about is the money. If it stops making money, it'll stop making sense. They'll look for the next movement. Okay? If people stop wearing Nikes and start wearing jellies, Nike to have their own jelly line. Okay? If you stop playing killer nigga music, and start playing and start listening, start streaming some positive stuff, eventually it may take a minute, but they'll eventually flip over. All they care is the money. They don't care about nothing else. They don't care about your hair, your culture. All they care about is the money. You got to understand, corporations are not humans. They're not humans. They're run by humans, but they're not humans. They're only driven by profit. Profit is their fuel. Their only obligation is to their stockholders. So if a CEO can't find a new way to generate new money for his corporation, he or she may get replaced soon. So as long as they're making money, they can do what they want to. They can screw who they want to. They can do whatever they want to as long as they're making money. Anything past that becomes a non-factor, you'll be unemployed.
Damn, man, it's a cold game. It sounds like, Lonzo.
It's a cold game, but it's a pure game, and we don't play the game. We came here and played. Most people play a different game and wonder why you always losing.
There it is.
You can't win in a cricket game, dude. You're not gonna win in a cricket game. Okay. You go down there. You go down to Vegas. They got cricket dice. You're not gonna win. The dice ain't gonna be cricket in your favor. So if you got a situation that's set up for you to fail, but you keep trying to play a certain way in this game, you ain't gonna win. If you're trying to play the street gangster in a game that's looking for street gangsters, they need you. So if you out here playing the role, you ain't gonna make it. You're gonna be part of fuel for the system. If you think you can drive home drunk and not have a problem, they got 502, 10 grand, got us another one. They can shoot somebody and get away with it. You watching too much television. They're gonna find your ass. Somebody gonna tell. Got another one. There goes another job secured for the next 25 years for another person. Babysitting your ass in jail for 25 years is a job for somebody else. I told you about my boy. I read an article, and the guy was saying how he went to prison, met his dad in prison. While he was in prison, his dad was taking him around, showing him where to go, where not to go, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, one of the prison guards had his son coming to work in the same prison, and he's doing the same thing. Watch this, watch over here, the Mexicans over here, blacks over there. And it dawned on him that his mistakes is a future for somebody else.
Man, that's creepy, dog. That's pretty creepy, man. Damn.
His mistakes is another man's future.
With a nice pension at the end of it.
With a nice pension at the end of it, Doc. Okay?
Damn.
All right? So once you understand that, you will stop playing. You don't want to play that game. Well, man, I don't want to be a punk either. Man, just because somebody call you a punk don't make you a punk.
Exactly. You can call me gay. It doesn't mean I'm gay. I'm gonna walk away.
I call you gay. Okay, don't. But you're so upset. Oh man, he hurt my feelings. See, that's the game they want you to play now. They don't want you to play the thought game. They want you to play the feelings game. Man, homeboy whooped your ass. You need to go deal with that. Okay, how am I going to? If I fight him, he'll whoop my ass again. Okay, leave that fool alone. He got good hands. Shake his hand. Okay, leave him alone. Period. But nah, man, go handle your business. Just like in the movies. And guys on a bicycle and a skateboard rolled up and killed one guy and shot another.
That's crazy, man.
I bet you, when they sit down and talk to the detectives, they're going to catch his ass eventually. You got cameras everywhere. When they talk to him, and you get down to the root problem, what happened? Oh, man, we were playing basketball, and he fouled me too hard. We got to do something like that.
Dumb shit.
Something dumb shit.
Yep.
Something dumb shit. Oh, man. No, I was kicking it with him, man. I love this girl. I slapped her on the ass. He got mad, and we got into a fight. And he beat my ass.
Yeah.
Well, guess who's gonna be? Guess who? Nah, man. It ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
You have to learn to de-escalate, man, and move the hell on.
Yep. I've de-escalated many times in my life, and like you said in the past, you don't live to be 65 by being a dummy. You know what I mean? So listen to these words, ladies and gentlemen. That's game right there. What do you got coming up on Thursday?
Thursday, I might have to go back and grab my man from the Universal Hip Hop Museum. We had
that was dope
last Thursday, but I got Big Les from Living Color and Living Single on deck.
That's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys tune into the station. No, go ahead.
I met her for the first time a couple weeks ago. That sister's still gorgeous, man. And we stayed. We never met before. She was excited to meet me. I was excited to meet her. Will you do my podcast? Only if you do my podcast. You got it.
Love it. That's dope as hell.
Give a call tomorrow and see. I'm gonna see who's gonna be available. I won't know for sure till tomorrow. This Monday kind of threw me off, but I'll know in a couple in a day or so.
Dope. Make sure you guys tune into the station, to the channel, and please subscribe, tell a friend, like. You guys don't understand how important the like button is. Hell, if you hate us, dislike. If you hate us, hit the dislike button because that helps us too. Believe it or not, it all helps with the algorithm. If you hate us, put it in the comments because that all helps with the algorithm.
Hey, Doc, and it goes right back to what I was saying. The computer don't care. All it sees is activity. The computer does not. And when I was taking a YouTube class, and they told me, said, man, people say dumb shit on purpose just to get the dislike, just like they got the likes. Okay.
Yep.
People want all they want is the activity. It enhances your algorithms. It's a different world, folks, than where you come from. Trust me.
Yeah, but obviously we appreciate the love a lot more. We got a lot of love from you guys, so we just want to thank you guys so much. Tuning in every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, Doc. With that being said, my man Dusty Vision, much love to you folks. Everybody in the chat room, thank you very much. Check me out on Thursday, y'all. I'll be back with somebody's child will be on my show. In the meantime, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. Like I said, every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks. From Eve After Dark to Concerts in the Park, you live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast. And Tuesdays, my man Dusty Vision's in the house.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.